What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2, Roof to Live. So we got an exciting one for you today. Couple new things that the channel hasn't seen before. Obviously only being on episode 2, there's a lot of things that have taken place prior to us filming this episode that you guys haven't got a chance to see that we do. So today, working on a new construction. Kind of turn it around and let you guys see. Awesome house here in Ocean Isle Beach. Hopefully you guys can see that. And so what's going on is the plumbing trade just finished what they're doing. So what happens is we come in, as soon as they lay the decking down on the top of the roof, we dry it in. That's what the process is called, drying in a roof. It just means that we're simply adding a felt or ice and water shield protection layer to prevent things from leaking inside the home. That's why it's called drying in, is we're keeping the home dry, okay? And so the next step to that is the plumbing trade gets in, and when the plumbing trade comes in, they run all their plumbing work on their rough end, and they cut the holes on the roof, and we've got to seal those, because right now there's a potential chance for water to get inside the home through the areas that the pipe boots or the PVC rather is running through the roof, and we've got to put on a pipe boot over that to seal that space. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to take you guys inside this home. Really awesome home, and I'm going to show you where these penetrations are in the roof that we're getting ready to seal, and then after this I'm going to catch you guys on the roof. So we're still in the very early stages of this home being built, and I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to do a lot more filming at this house, and you guys will be able to see a lot more of the finished product. Awesome house, guys. Awesome house. Great layout. It's going to be pretty big too. So I'm just going to kind of stay downstairs for right now. You can see some of the trade work's been done. Windows are in, plumbing just finished. Some of the electrical has been worked on. So let's see where these pipe boots are, or rather where these pipe boots need to be to cover up these plumbing PVC pipes, so we can keep this customer waterproof. I lied, I said I was going to stay downstairs, but we're going to run upstairs real quick, see if we can catch where these pipes are. So it's probably going to be kind of hard for you guys to see this, but looks like daylight right there. Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see this, but there's one. And let's see. Oh, there it is. There's two. See that daylight? So we're going to catch you guys topside and throw some pipe boots on and seal these holes so this customer can be waterproof. All right, guys, back at it again. Top side on the roof. Give you a good little POV mount. There's one of the boots right there that we're going to be sealing. It's always a pretty view on top of the roof. You can always see a lot more Got a cool little pond right over there. It's a pretty day here. All right, cool. And here is number 2. So, not bad to get to. Not bad, not bad. We'll start with this one. All right, guys, so this customer is actually getting a standing seam metal roof. And if you notice, what I've got in my hand is actually a shingle pipe boot. So normally when you actually place a pipe boot over something, you slide it on, you cut to fit for your size pipe boot or your size PVC pipe that's going through it. You run it down to the very base of the PVC, grab you a couple nails, seal those nail heads. We run an extra bead of sealant around the top of this boot and the PVC just for added extra protection. But if you know anything about the construction industry or roofing industry, this is not a standing seam metal pipe boot. We are just trying to get this customer dried back in, because if you can see, there's a gap around this pipe and the decking and ice and water shield that we've got up here. So water is still getting in the home. So what we're gonna do today is cut this pipe boot to fit this pipe, slide it over, and I'm gonna run a bead of silicone around the bottom of this pipe boot base. We're gonna slide it over and seal it, make sure there's no trash in the way. And instead of running a couple nails in it today, the silicone is gonna hold it in place temporarily, flush against this ice and water shield, and that's going to prevent water intrusion in the meantime. And that way we're not adding any extra nails and causing any more roof penetrations, because this is a temporary dry-in until the metal comes in and we actually install the standing seam metal. So again, this is not the permanent final fit and finish for this roof as far as pipe boots go. This is just to get this customer back dried in. So if you're in the roofing industry or you're in the construction trade, I'd love to know in the comments you guys' take on what you use to temporarily dry in between rough in trade or rough in finish work and the final finished product. You know, what do you guys do? This is what we always do, because again, it's just temporary, right? This is meant to get us by a couple weeks, and it's going to stay nice and waterproof because it's going to be silicone against the roof. But what do you guys do? I'd like to know in the comments. If anybody out there watching this, you know, they say there's 10 different ways to skin a cat, right? So everybody's got their different way of doing things. I'd love to know what you guys do. So get into it. All right, guys, one down, one to go. All right, guys, number 2 banged out. So that's about it. We're gonna do a quick little walk around, just because it's been a few days since we've been up here on this roof, and really just want to take a look, make sure we don't see anything out of the ordinary, right? Make sure we don't see any areas of any kind of potential water intrusion. So anything that sticks out, we can run a bead of silicone on while we're here in the meantime, just because we're here, you know, just to make sure nothing's leaking. This all feels sealed pretty well. Little gap right there. Any little thing like that, right? We just want to make sure, you know, any kind of gaps, we're going to go ahead and fill in. All right. All right, guys, we just finished up those 2 pipe boots and sealing a couple areas on the house. So this one is good to go. This episode's probably gonna be a little bit shorter for you guys, so not quite as long as the last one, or the first episode rather. But we have got to, I'm gonna pick back up this one at another house that we're actually gonna do a full roof replacement on. It's a shingle roof. It's an old shingle roof. They're going back with a newer 30-year architectural shingle. So that's definitely going to be on one of the episodes coming up. But we're going to pick back up there at the second stop. That's a house in Ocean Isle Beach as well. It's got some current damage. And I just want to kind of give you guys, the viewers, a look, maybe behind the scenes, so to speak, on what these houses look like before we do a roof replacement and after. So we're going to show, you know, before, during the roof installment process. We're going to show a lot of that as well. And then of course, got to get you guys up there for the finished product so you can see what our work looks like, because it's going to be spectacular. So that's it, guys. So like I said, we finished the pipe boots on this one, and finishing up here, gonna catch back up on the next one. So see you there. All right, guys, back at it again, picking up on number 2. So just like I told you guys, on this one we are checking the roof out because it's getting a full roof replacement. And really, this is honestly nothing more than just showing you guys what the roof looked like before. And then, as I said before, we're definitely gonna show you, the process and transformation throughout the roof replacement. And of course, we're gonna show you the finished product. So let's jump up on the ladder, jump on the roof, and you can see kind of what a used old roof that needs replacing looks like. It's got some damage, wind damage tabs, some shingles missing. So we'll get up there and let you guys take a look at what I look at. All right, guys, so right off the bat, getting up here, you can see all the wind damage tabs, missing shingles. And for those at home that are watching that don't know what a wind damage tab is, or what we're referring to, so this is a 3-tab shingle, okay? and I'll have to show you guys in a new pack when I've got an extra bundle laying around. But essentially, one shingle is 1, 2, 3 tabs. So from here all the way to the end of the roof, that's one shingle. So that's why we call it a 3-tab shingle, because you can see these splits. That separates the shingle into 1, 2, 3 tabs, obviously. Kind of self-explanatory, but for those that don't know, you know, our purpose here is to obviously educate the customer and hopefully improve other contractors that are doing the same work as us. So when we say wind damage tab, there's one tab right there, and you can obviously see it's damaged. I didn't do that. This tab was already sitting up, and what happened is the wind gets underneath these shingles, starts flapping them like that. It might pull up a corner, wind gets up under there and unseals this shingle. Next thing you know, it folds back. That's a wind damage tab. So it's not going to seal itself back. As you can see, the bonding tar of the shingle worn out, dry rotted. It's not going to seal itself back. This right here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a real bad crease. So that tab's definitely damaged. It's not fixable or repairable. We'd have to remove that 3-tab shingle and insert another one. Now, in the case of this roof, how we determine the age of the roof is by what we call granule loss. So think of a shingle as a big piece of sandpaper, right? And you can see, I'll try and zoom in a little bit. So all of these shingles are made up of 3 different compounds. So you've got a tar base, you've got a fiberglass layer, and then you've got your granules, which is your top outside layer. That is the real protection of the shingle. So if you can see all these lines and crevices, those are missing granules. So that's definitely a lot of granule loss in that particular shingle. Well, I'll show you guys the rest of this roof, but the roof is baked and it's definitely time for replacement. So a lot of these 3-tab shingles are rated for 25 years. Some of the earlier 3 tabs were rated for 20 years. And some of you might be questioning, well, if I get a 30-year shingle, a 25-year shingle, a 20-year shingle, shouldn't it last that long? And the short answer is, in theory, under perfect normal conditions, the answer is absolutely yes. You can get a full life out of a shingle. However, North Carolina's climate is pretty rough. So a lot of these roofs don't have a lot of ventilation or a ton of ventilation, and it gets really hot here, guys. So what ends up happening is these roofs actually bake from the inside out, and it gets so hot in the attic that the backside of these shingles get so hot, and we call it blistering in the roofing world. So the shingle starts blistering and the granules just start popping off. And every storm event, every heavy rain, wind-driven rain, you know, a lot of changing of seasons, hot, cold, any kind of ice, snow, all those are deteriorating factors that are just essentially going to shorten the lifespan of anybody's roof. So what I find is, based on our climate, you know, we're obviously at the coast here in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. Here, a little bit inland, we do work all the way into, you know, Fayetteville, Southern Pines. We go to Topsail Beach, Myrtle Beach. So we cover a lot of the state, but a majority of the state's, you know, very similar. Us being at the coast, we do have a lot more humidity here, but for the most part, you know, you're probably honestly not going to get a full, if you've got a 20-year shingle, you're probably not going to get 20 years. If you got a 25-year shingle, same thing. 30-year shingle, you're probably not going to quite get 30 years. So a 30-year shingle, again, you know, I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to last. Every house is totally different. Every house gets different sun exposure. This slope over here on this side of the roof might get baked from the sun all day. This slope might sit in the shade the majority of the day. You know, it depends on so many factors, right? Where the sun sets, where the sun rises, how much tree coverage do you have, how much shade. But all those factors determine, you know, how quickly your shingle is going to deteriorate. In most cases, an average, again, don't hold me to this, guys, but a 30-year shingle, we're seeing in the low to mid 20s in terms of life expectancy for that roof if the conditions are relatively good. So in a perfect world, yes, you still can get 30 years out of your shingle. Not very likely in our climate, but again, that's not me telling you how long your shingle is going to last. That's giving you my advice in the field, real world experience from what we've actually seen. So just a little feedback, little shingle class for you guys. So also wanted to show you guys this right here. So just before the last house, we put in some shingle pipe boots, right? You guys remember that? So earlier in the episode, we installed shingle pipe boots on that new construction home. Remember I was saying, if you remember earlier in the episode, grab a couple nails in the bottom of the shingle, seal it with silicone, seal around it. Sometimes we even put an extra bead of silicone right here. So these right here are what we call, this is a maintenance area of a roof, or a part of the roof, or an area that definitely needs extra attention, extra maintenance, deteriorates the quickest. So these shingles are essentially going to last a lot longer than these pipe boots. So a lot of customers are under the impression that they get a new roof and they're good for 20, 25, 30 years. They don't have to do anything to the roof. Well, that couldn't be farther from the truth, guys. So again, the purpose of this channel is to educate the standard homeowner that doesn't know these things. So I'm getting ready to spill this, flip this camera around. But so again, remember I was telling you, throw a couple nails in this pipe boot, seal it with silicone. So this is the product of silicone deterioration, and you can see this silicone is real hard, guys. It's in real bad shape. See how that's just flaking off? There's no protection from this silicone, and you can even see that's an exposed nail head right there that's already rusting. So same thing. Another thing that happens, I'll show you right here. Look, you can just see that peeling off, right? I'm barely touching it, guys, not even adding any pressure, and this silicone's just peeling off. So there's no way I would be doing this if we weren't replacing the roof. However, I can assure you and promise you, I'm not doing anything to put this roof in any more danger than it's already in before the roof replacement happens. Otherwise, I would definitely not be doing what I'm doing. So this right here looks like some blistering. If you guys can see that, looks like the granules are just gone, right? Like they just disappeared. Another thing that happens, we'll see if we can flip this camera on the side, is these pipe boots, because the base is plastic and this is rubber. I don't know if you can see that moving in, pushing in, it's rubber. This is hard plastic. So it dries out. This plastic dries out just like any kind of plastic trim on your car, it fades. Well, it tends to get pulled up towards the sun. And you can see that it's already, hopefully you guys can see that, it's already warping. And that is just going to continue to get worse and worse. It's going to pull those nails out, and eventually there's going to be a huge gap here, and it's just going to be an area for water intrusion. It's just going to get worse. So what I'm getting at, guys, is if you're a homeowner, you definitely at minimum, we obviously, because we are super maintenance minded with our particular company being in the field, because things can change so quickly, right? And all it takes is really one rain event to get water intrusion in the home and cause an issue, an expensive issue at that. You know, once water gets underneath these shingles, it's going into the attic space. God forbid you have anything in the attic space that that's not waterproof. That's going to get ruined first. Then the insulation is going to hold water. It's going to soak into the sheetrock of the ceiling, you know, and then it just gets bad from there. You'll notice a brown spot. The brown spot starts spreading. Then that ceiling sheetrock starts to deteriorate, falls in, and now there's no protection, and the water's just, you know, hitting straight on the floor, whatever floor material you've got, carpet, hardwood floors, LVP. So it doesn't take long. So we recommend at least get your roof inspected once a year, guys. That's really nothing. Once every 365 days, put it in your calendar, call your local roofing contractor, say, hey, would you guys please inspect my roof? A lot of companies offer maintenance plans. We do. We also will be more than happy to come out and inspect the home, you know, for a service call charge, a trip charge. It's not that much, guys. it's cheap insurance to know that your home's in good standings, and you know, nothing further is going to happen, or we don't see any cheap problems that we can go ahead and fix. It's cheap insurance is what I'm getting at, guys. So the back side of this pipe boot is really what I wanted to show you guys. So this is a perfect example of a severely deteriorated pipe boot. This is in bad shape. So remember on the last house, new construction home, we were talking about drying in. So this right here, this rubber, is what prevents water intrusion from getting right inside the attic space, guys, right inside the house. And the customer had no clue. And you know, we're doing a roof inspection right now, and we can see that this roof is in horrible, or this pipe boot is in horrible shape. There's literally no protection. There's nothing from keeping water, you know, and when it rains, just pouring right in that hole, right in the attic space. So before we leave, I'm gonna install something called a rain collar, and I'll show you that. And we're just gonna put that on there until we get back out here to do the roof replacement. We're only a couple weeks away on a roof replacement, but guys, we're at the coast, it rains a lot. So who knows how many times it's gonna rain inside the house. And I'm really shocked and surprised that they haven't seen any kind of water intrusion inside the home. And who knows, maybe that's why they actually called out for a roof estimate. I don't know, maybe that's one of the reasons, but that's very bad. So perfect example there. I'm not glad that the homeowner is experiencing that, but I am glad that we're at least able to capture that on film to show you guys and educate. Obviously, that's a perfect example of why you need to get your roof inspected, you know, and don't let things go 5-10 years in between having somebody look at a roof. Even though it's a new roof, it doesn't matter. So this is a 750 vent here. We're obviously going to replace that with a new one during our roof replacement. It's in relatively good shape. Silicone's deteriorated, but that's par for the course. This pipe boot here, same thing. It's in relatively good shape minus the silicone. No protection on any of the nail heads. They're all rusty. So it's a matter of time before those rust out as well. Again, water intrusion inside the home. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. This pipe boot's in pretty good shape, but it is no time away from deteriorating. You can see the dry rot around the edge of where the rubber meets the plastic. It's not going to be long before that one's gone, guys. So that's pretty much it. Another example is these shingles right here. This is a ridge cap. So we're capping where both of these slopes meet. We're capping that ridge. That's a ridge cap. This right here, those are still ridge cap shingles, but this is called ridge vent, and this actually vents the attic space, or if this home doesn't have an actual attic, this is still venting the space between the roof and the ceiling and insulation to allow the interior and exterior of the home to breathe, mesh. Not as much heat gets trapped in that interior space, therefore allowing the vent, or allowing the roof to be able to breathe and vent, you know, extremely hot air to try to slow down some of that blistering that happens in our climate. So I think I've talked enough, guys. Let's go ahead and grab a pipe boot repair kit, or some people call them rain collars. Grab us a tube of silicone, throw you guys on the POV mount. Let's take care of this this torn pipe boot, get this customer safe until we can do this roof replacement. So let's speed up real quick and get this knocked out. All right, guys, that's it. Banged out another episode. Glad you guys followed along. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment with any questions or concerns. Obviously, let us know what you guys are thinking about these projects. Check out this house behind me. We're about to have another really happy customer really soon. They picked out their shingle color. We've got a Design IQ widget that allowed them to put their shingle color on their house before they chose it. Let us know about that if you guys are looking for a new roof. But again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the bell notification thingy at the top. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think, guys. We're doing this for you, and we just appreciate all the support that we're going to get and all the support we've got along the way. And again, if nothing else comes from this channel than just to allow us to educate the homeowner, then that's essentially all we want to happen, right? We just want to find customers that we weren't able to reach in other marketing avenues and educate them as much as possible, right? Even if for some reason they don't reach out to us in particular with questions or concerns, or for a quote or an estimate on a roof repair or roof replacement, at least we know that we're bettering the industry. There's not enough of this in this industry, guys. A lot of the other industries are continuing to grow and progress. There's a lot of other channels surrounding other trades, but there's just not really much of this going on. And in my opinion, we all need to take a little bit of extra time, like I'm doing now, for the betterment of the customer, this industry, this trade, and you know, any homeowners and any other contractors. If we share knowledge that we've learned along the way in the field, especially problems that we've run into that were a challenge for us. We're definitely not perfect, guys. We make occasional mistakes. We try to learn from them and prevent them from happening twice if we can help it, right? So the purpose is to minimize mistakes, learn from your mistake, and grow. And that's really what this is all about, is just trying to, again, the betterment of the roofing industry and roofing trade, and inform the customer, give them as much knowledge as possible. And what I'm doing is going to come full circle eventually, and it's all going to come back if we can all just take a little bit of time to educate each other, learn from our mistakes, share secrets, you know, things that I'm doing right now, things that homeowners don't normally know, throwing you on the POV headset and giving you an inside look at what I do on some of these repair calls, or, you know, what we do to solve some of these customers' problems. That's just essentially what we're trying to do. So anyways, thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Give us a shout with any questions. I've got my email in our bio. You're more than welcome to send us a message, or leave us a comment on one of these videos with any contact information that you want to be reached at, and we'll be glad to contact you, reach back out to you just as soon as we humanly possibly can. So follow along, because we definitely got some exciting content. Next episode will more than likely be the roof replacement of this house. On this episode you're watching now, the first new construction house. We're not too far away from doing the standing seam metal roof on that one. So, and we've got a ton of other things in the pipeline. So as long as you continue to watch, like, and subscribe, we're going to continue to grow the channel, and you guys are going to learn a ton. We're going to learn a couple other things along the way. We're all going to grow together and just be better. And that's it, guys. Banged out another one. Catch us on the next episode. Roof to live.
Yo, get your hands in the air. You came to party tonight. We gon' get down, hell yeah. You have the time of your life if you doing it right. If you doing it right. If you doing it right. If you doing it right.